My name is Cynthia Imana. I'm originally from the Bronx, New York, currently residing in Orlando, Florida. I'm 41 years old, and in 2017, I was diagnosed with polymyositis. And this is my story in color.
How was your life before diagnosis?
Life before diagnosis was awesome. My husband, 3 children, was healthy as a horse my whole life, very productive, full of energy, no complaints, honestly.
How was your health before diagnosis?
My health, I was really strong. I worked my whole life since I was 14 years old. Um, Love dancing, activities, very outgoing, determined, just a normal life.
What was your symptoms leading up to diagnosis?
Leading up to diagnosis, I noticed a couple times I fell for no apparent reason. I was going up the bus one day at work and I fell, and I think I was maybe 4 months pregnant at the time, but I didn't think anything of it. Another fall was maybe a couple months later, and I just noticed I was having trouble opening jars and different things like that. Um, what else did I notice? Just weakness. I couldn't get up from a toilet for some reason. I would just sit there and get stuck, and it would be so difficult to physically lift my body up. And I would just ask for help from my son or my husband. And then one day I had a bad fall in the bathroom, and I tried to get up and couldn't get up at all. And I was just rolling around on the floor, and my son had to come pick me up. So that's when I knew something, wasn't all the way together.
What caused you to seek diagnosis?
Um, what caused me to seek diagnosis was me going into labor. Like I said, I was expecting my fourth and final child. I worked until I was 38 weeks pregnant, and we induced at 41 weeks. And when I went in, I had a C-section, and that's when things went downhill from there. And I decided to seek diagnosis because I was getting weak, came home with the baby. 2 weeks later, kept noticing I kept falling, couldn't get up, I had no energy, and I knew at that point something was seriously wrong. So I went to the emergency room and decided to seek some type of help or answers to what's going on.
How did you get diagnosed?
When I went into the ER, my CK count was 14,000 that night, and they kept me for a couple days, did blood work, and ran several tests. Days led into weeks, and they did a biopsy, and that's when they finally were able to narrow down and see that I had polymyositis.
How did you feel after being diagnosed?
After being diagnosed, I was confused, scared, terrified. Didn't know, I was incoherent. So I don't know if I was suffering from postpartum, or I just remember missing my child. I just wanted to go home desperately to my newborn. I remember just begging, just please get me out of here. I just didn't want to be in the hospital. Like whatever it was, as long as I'm not dying today, just get me out of here. That I just remember feeling that. I didn't know what polymyositis was. I never heard of it. I kept asking, where did it come from? Was it hereditary? Was it something that I did? Did I push my body too much? Should I have not had a child at 38? I just kept asking myself all these different things, like what did I do wrong? What could I have done to prevent this? And they just kept assuring me that there's nothing that I could have done. It's a rare disease, and that's what I had. So that's what I was told. And
what was your treatment plan?
Well, at the time, they put me on injections. I believe it was methotrexate injections, uh, high dosage of prednisone, and eventually it graduated to Humira and things of that nature. So several different medications, and they sent me home a couple weeks later. Yeah.
What is your current status?
My current status is I am blessed. I'm awesome. It's been 3 years. It's been a tough road. Um, the first 2 years were really hard because, like I said, I had the newborn baby, and I was pretty much sent home in a vegetable state to care for a newborn, three other school age children, husband, and myself, which I couldn't even do for myself. So it put a lot of stress and strain on the family, but as of today, I'm doing much better. I'm not in a wheelchair. I was in a wheelchair for over a year, almost 2 years. So a lot of therapy, slowly graduating up into an electric chair, walker, and all that. But now at least I can walk. I can drive. I can hold my baby. And all these things I couldn't do for the past couple years. So life right now is awesome to me. I love it.
And finally, what is one piece of advice to give someone that may be suffering with a disease?
Well, the piece of advice that I would give is first and foremost to put God first. Tap into your faith, build it up, build yourself up, do what you love. Whatever that thing is that just fills your soul, definitely spend time doing those things just so that you can always be in a positive mood and always have hope. Never give up your hope. Always try to remain. I know it's easier said than done, but just try to remain positive and hopeful, and just know that everything's going to be okay. You will get stronger. When we might not never get our old life back, but we definitely have an opportunity to create a new one. And I think that's the main piece of advice that I would give to anyone dealing with a disease. Again, my name is Cynthia Imana, and the color of my story is hot pink. Hey guys, again, my name is Cynthia Imana, and the color in my story is hot pink.